Well, it's been a bit longer than a week, but we've definitely made some progress. First and foremost, as you can see, we are now entirely multiplayer, as all of this footage is taken from 2 separately run client instances. So now everything you've seen so far is actually working online. Of course, that isn't all I've been up to. Internal components are now modeled and affect the dynamics of the vehicle as they are damaged. So, if we are to damage the engine, you can see the speed at which the vehicle moves and turns is affected based on how much the engine is damaged. If the fuel tank is damaged, the amount of fuel depletes up into the amount of health that is left. So if the fuel tank is completely destroyed, there just is no fuel left, but otherwise it's capped to the ratio of health that it has left. Essentially the same for the battery, and each one affects different things. Fuel is needed for fuel-based engines to work, or other fuel-based systems to work like flamethrowers. Battery affects turret drive speed, so when it is depleted or otherwise destroyed, which also depletes it, the turret can't turn and the gun can't turn. In theory, ammo stowages being destroyed or damaged will cause secondary effects, but it's not quite working yet. And same for the tracks, which are actually planned to work on a sprocket by sprocket basis, so if one sprocket is damaged, it actually just falls off and stops affecting the suspension, but that is also yet to be fully implemented. Each of these internal components have their own hitbox and component type, similar to how the armor plates work as an armor module. Internal components are their own module, so when the time finally comes, they can be set up dynamically based on however you want your build to be laid out. And that pretty much catches us up to where we are today. Unfortunately, porting everything into replicated versions took a little longer than I thought it would, but now that it has been converted, replication is actually working a lot better than I thought it would. It's pretty smooth. The only issue is there are some bugs with, I'm not sure if it's the physics system or just the amount of stuff going on calculated per tick in the projectile or damage updates, but there is some pretty major instability whenever the server's tick rate drops below a certain threshold. Once that's resolved, we're pretty much set for modularization and adding in more components and holes, and actually approaching that public demo. I meant to have a private demo, but resolving some replication issues has taken up too much time for that to have been possible up to this point, but we are getting close, so stay tuned. The next update won't take nearly as long as this one did, because there's some pretty exciting stuff around the corner once these final bugs are squished. Otherwise, thanks for checking in.